complex problems like you see here. Madison has 56 roses and 42 daisies to use in floral centerpieces for a party. Each centerpiece will have the same number of flowers and will contain only roses or only daisies. What is the greatest number of flowers that Madison can use in each centerpiece? Now, what makes this problem a little bit difficult is this wording right here. We're only going to have roses or daisies in a centerpiece. So that means you have to kind of visualize, roses as a centerpiece and daisies as a centerpiece. And we're trying to figure out how many flowers are we going to put inside each centerpiece. All right, so to start this type of problem, you might consider figuring out the GCF of the two numbers here. So we have 56 roses. If we find the prime factorization of 56, we're going to get 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. The prime factorization of 42 is 2 times 3 times 7. When we look for our matches, we have matching 2's, so I wrote that down over here. Matching 7's, I wrote that down over here. 2 times 7 is 14. So the GCF of 56 and 42 is 14. So let's put that number right here. Alright, so that means that we should be visualizing 14 flowers in each centerpiece. So let's just make sure that this makes sense. Now we know that 14 times something is going to equal 56, and that something is 4. And we know that 14 times something will equal 42, and that something is 3. And now we have to make sure that we have that we're talking about the same number of flowers here. Now remember, we started out with 98 flowers, and we still have to have 98 flowers, because remember, this means 14 times 4 is 56, 14 times 3 is 42. Now let's visualize this. So that means pretend there's 14 flowers. I don't know if there actually are, but let's just pretend for the sake of understanding the problem that there are 14 roses inside there. We're going to have 4 of those. That represents this. Actually, I should probably move that over here. And then we're going to have 3 of the daisy displays and pretend that there's 14 flowers in there. So let's ask ourselves, how many vases do we have, or centerpieces? Looks like we have 7 centerpieces. By the way, if the question did ask how many centerpieces do we have, then you would answer that as 7, but it wanted to know the number of flowers in each centerpiece. So let's just make sure we have the original number of flowers. If we were to do this plus this, we'd have 7 centerpieces, and is 7 times 14, if we kind of do the check to make sure we get the same thing, is that still going to be the same number of flowers? And here we get the 28. Here we get the 7, and the 2 more is 9. So we're still talking about 98 flowers in all, and it matches, just to kind of confirm that we did things correctly. So if we go back and really read carefully what they're asking for, it wants to know what is the greatest number of flowers that Madison can use in each centerpiece, and this is what you want to look at right here. 14 is the correct answer.